to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. This is to advise those present at this meeting of the Board of Education of the Pinelands Regional School District in the County of Ocean that adequate notice of this meeting was provided in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act. The notice has been posted in the Board of Education office, junior high school, and high school buildings. The notice was also mailed to the press of Atlantic City and filed with municipal clerks of Bass River, Eagleswood, and Little Lake Harbor Township and the Borough of Tuckerton. Roll call, please, Amanda.
Mr. Bartlett.
Here.
Ms. Betty. She will be marked absent. Ms. Fagan. She will be marked absent. Ms. Hannadel. She will be marked absent. Ms. Martin. She will be marked absent. Mr. Rossetti.
Here.
Ms. Zimmerman.
Here.
Mr. Dalio.
Here.
Mrs. McVeigh.
Here.
We are in session.
Yes, we are thin tonight. We have some of our fellow board members under the weather a little bit. So I'm hoping, if you remember last month's meeting, I was under the weather a lot of it. So I'm kind of hoping it wasn't me that got everybody sick, but I'm alive and kicking today. With that, we'll move on to item number 5, approval of the minutes. We need a motion to approve minutes from November 21st, regular session and executive session. Can we have a motion, please?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions?
Bartlett.
Yes.
Mr. Rossetti.
Yes.
Zimmerman.
Yes.
Mr. Dalio.
Yes.
McVeigh.
Yes.
Motion carries.
With that, I'll give you the superintendent, Dr. McCauley, for her update.
Thank you. Do you want to go after mine? Would that be okay? I'll turn it over to you. All right, perfect. So I just want to let the board know and the public, in January, I will be giving a mid-year data review based on our goals and some student data. So look forward to that in January, please. Next, I'd like to put your attention to the back slide. We have some Pinelands proud moments that I'd like to highlight. If you could turn to the next slide, please. All right, so the teachers have been doing something very wonderful this school year, and they've been writing up students for doing good things. So in the high school, as of 12-14 for this school year, we've had 304 positive write-ups. And in the junior high, 232. And I just want to commend not only the teaching staff for doing this, but the administration, because they follow up with parents as well. So they may call home and the parent thinks, oh no, the principal's calling me, the vice principal's calling me. However, it is to convey something positive the student did. So we're really proud of our students for a great job that they're doing. Next slide, I want to highlight, as we have numerous times because she and the program are amazing, Jags took trips to Washington. Miss Nooner took a small group to Washington, and then she took another group to Rider University recently. So they really benefited from those trips, and we thank them for doing that. We also had the choir event last week. I attended. They did a wonderful job. Our new choir director is amazing, and we look forward to that program growing even more. And then our band concert is this week. It is on Wednesday. So if anyone wants to attend that, it's 6:30 at the high school. And then lastly, without further ado, NJ.com has identified our very own Coach Tierney as the Shore Conference Coach of the Year. And that is a really great accomplishment. This is his first year taking over the football team. His record was 7-4. I know they had one playoff game that we attended here home. It was so exciting. And we're just so proud of our coach and all of the players. So a wonderful accomplishment by Coach Tierney. That's all I have for our Pinelands proud moments. I do have some more updates though. Next, I would like to play this month's Here to Help video. And while they get that ready, I just want to remind everyone on the board and out in at the public and whoever is listening, our Here to Help campaign really was created to highlight all of the programs we have and resources here at Pinelands that not only help our school community, they're here to help the community at large. So we have one this month that I'd like to highlight. And if the tech can play that, please do.
Hi, I'm Karen Kenny, the Director of Student Services at Pinelands Regional. Our department is also known as Guidance. Student Services is a team of licensed and certified counselors. Our goal is to maximize success in 3 domains: academic, career, and social-emotional. We help all students apply academic achievement strategies, manage emotions, and apply interpersonal skills, and plan for post-secondary options, such as higher education, joining the military, or entering the workforce. One of the things that we are known for is helping our students make relevant and effective connections to see their needs met and their goals achieved. At the high school level, we assist students with college applications, military recruitment, vocational programming, dual enrollment, and employment. At the junior high, we provide critical support for our 7th graders who are transitioning from elementary to middle school, and for our 8th graders who prepare to transition to the high school. Across both schools, we offer individual and group counseling, referrals to specialists, and a support system that gives our students the tools and opportunities they need to succeed. At Student Services, we are here to help.
Great job by Karen Kenny and her amazing teams. Thank you so much for doing that. We had our budget meetings held all day from 8:30 to 2 o'clock on the 15th. Ms. Miller, Ms. Frasca, and I met with every department head and looked at their current budgets and how they're doing and planned for the future. So thank you to the administrative team and Ms. Miller for allowing us to sit with her and get that done. I did send a discipline survey out to the staff, kind of a mid-year check-in to see how things are going with discipline in comparison to the original one that was sent out in September. And we are making significant strides. One of the concerns that we're seeing across the board are cell phones, the use of cell phones in between classes, the use of cell phones as a distraction. So this is something I'm going to be researching further with the teaching staff, with the board, and with the students. A parent survey went out today, a mid-year parent survey, just to gauge how we're doing administratively and as a district. And I will be sharing the results of that with the board in January. Miss Nooner and I had met with Miss Kenny. One of the things that I've been focusing on for this year that I'd like to start getting into effect for next school year is an apprenticeship program. And I know that the board has asked numerous times about programs for the non-college bound students. And we do have a lot of things in place right now. The biggest difference between what we currently have in place and an apprenticeship program would be that students would actually get paid while they're working through this program. So I've done the initial research, we've had initial conversations, but just a heads up that there's more to come with this. And we're going to be working on forming relationships with local businesses and kind of get this moving along for our students. I want to point out that on the agenda tonight, you will see one of our seniors who is 18, who is being hired as a part-time custodian at the junior high. So Mr. Stranahan has had some difficulty finding part-time workers for that department. So he and I spoke about, well, let's extend this to our students. And this student is going to be hired. They're going to be working after school till 8 o'clock at the junior high doing some work. And he was very grateful because he did express to us that he does have rent to pay and some bills, and this is really going to help the student out. So this is something I'd like to expand as much as we can, and helping our students out while helping the district out and getting some of this part-time work. We have our safe return plan draft. It is on the website. It's under the board tab. New Jersey DOE requires this plan to be revised every 6 months. Ms. Frasca did revise this. It is it's on a draft form on the website. And if there's any feedback, there is a link on there and an email to email Ms. Frasca any feedback that anyone in the public may have. Some of the main changes are there's no more free breakfast and lunch for students. And we've talked about this previously. And there's no more 24/7 tutoring that we had while we had COVID. So those two things are no longer existing. I want to send a special shout out and thank you to Chief Hawkins and the local police department. The partnership that we've had with them is absolutely amazing. They're accommodating, they're open. We have a lot of meetings with them. It's collaborative, and I just want to commend them for the wonderful relationship that we do have with them. It helps us tremendously, and we really appreciate that. Just want to point out that starting in January at reorg, we will not be in this room anymore. We will be back at the junior high. So I did ask Betty Ann and Augie if there was any concerns with that. It just seems like it's a more homey, conducive atmosphere, and we're going to transition back to the junior high in January. There were no questions for the BOE on the website, so nothing for me to address there. Sit with the Soup is going to be held virtually January 18th at 6 o'clock. Anyone is welcome to attend. They will just have to RSVP. And then lastly, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and have a safe, wonderful holiday break with your family and friends. Now I'm going to turn it over for our student update.
Sure. I'm also doing the junior high school tonight. So the junior high school had a winter prep rally on December 16th to celebrate all of the winter sports teams. It was a lot of fun, and we wish them a wonderful Wildcat season. During the pep rally, we named the winners of the door decorating contest and would like to thank the staff and students for all their enthusiasm and expression of school spirit. Finally, we renamed our high school. We announced our junior high school Wildcat to Rory. Thank you for all the votes for the mascot name. Our next war event is this Thursday, December 22nd, with the movie Hot Cocoa and Cookies. Once again, we're very proud of all our students and want to thank the staff for always highlighting all the wonderful Wildcats within the halls of the school. The 7th and 8th grade student government had a successful holiday drive and collected items to help with needed supplies for our cat shack. We collected food and supplies for the upcoming holidays. Thank you for all that donated, and please reach out to the junior high school if you are interested in donating items at any time of the year. We are always replenishing items needed in the local community. So that's all for the junior high school. And then the high school, as stated, the JAG Club attended the JAG NSLA conference in Washington, D.C., and Mr. Neil Brown hosted the first holiday choir concert. The History Club hosted their annual trip to Philadelphia. They went to the Franklin Institute, Reading Terminal Market, and Love Park. The Spanish Club made ornaments for their monthly meeting and are excited to be starting their annual Pulsera project. Student government hosted their Holiday Spirit Week last week and ended the week with our winter pep rally. Everyone had a great time. And again, congratulations to Coach Tierney for being named Shore Conference Player of the Year. We're so thankful for all the work he does here at Pinelands. The high school and junior high school would like to say thank you and happy holidays.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to our presentations of JAG National Student Leadership Academy.
We just wanted to share, this is Nikki Conrad. She was one of the attendees for our conference that we went to down in Washington. And we really wanted to say thank you and just share some of the pictures and some of the things that we got to do while we were down there with you. And thank you for letting us go. So it was December 1st through the 3rd down in Washington. And we said, Pinelands and JAG, we make a great team together. So that was the title of it: Network, Educate, Advocate, and Lead for the program. And Ocean Inc. was. So
Could you have a?
He's getting her microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry. And okay. Ocean Inc. donated the van for us to take the trip down. They sponsored us on the van, so the students thought that they were traveling in luxury in that van. So it was really nice. But Nikki, you can tell a little bit about what we did and everything about the trip. So.
Yeah, so the trip was a 3-day trip, like she said, and each day we had different activities. So the first day we went to the senator's office building, and we went and met with the chief of staff for Cory Booker, Veronica Dunn, and she was amazing. We got to talk to her about the JAG program, and then we asked her questions about what she did, and we just got to learn a bunch of cool stuff about her job and bunch of interesting stuff about the Senate and kind of the behind the scenes. Here is pictures of us in front of the Capitol building because we were right on Capitol Hill, and it's really cool. This was our itinerary for the days that we got to do cool stuff. That is the picture of the entire JAG, well, NSLA, NCA, JAG program for all around the country, a bunch of different students. There's some pictures of us in front of, again, the Capitol and then the Supreme Court. This is a picture, this was from our second day. We met at, what was it, Donald Payne, the congressman, at his office, and we met with some of his staff, and we got to talk with him again. We talked about the JAG program, like what we plan for our futures, and it was really cool to see his actual personal office and all of his interesting stuff and all of his stuff from the House of Representatives. So that was really cool. There's some more pictures. This is some of me talking to his staff member that we got to meet. And then some more pictures of us and our group from Carteret that we were grouped with. That is the picture of our luncheon that we got to go to. It was so professional, I'd say. We got like a 3-course meal. We watched, who spoke? I think it was the governor of, was it Louisiana? And then the governor of the Virgin Islands also spoke. That was our trip to Arlington National Cemetery. We got to see the wreath laying and the changing of the guard.
JAG actually, they sponsored the wreath there. So it was actually JAG, the national leaders from JAG got to lay the wreath that was sponsored by the JAG Association, it was very humbling to watch the whole ceremony.
Yeah. Some more pictures of the guard, and that's the, what's it called? The amphitheater. Picture on the left is us at the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial, and then the second picture is us at the World War II Memorial. And then that was us at the Lincoln Memorial, and right across the water was the Washington Monument. And then some more pictures of us at the Martin Luther King, and yeah, so some more pictures of us at the Twilight Tour, which was my favorite part. It was. And there's just some pictures of us at the hotel with our group.
We got to network with all the different JAG students across the country, which was really nice. They got to meet everybody and different leaders and things.
Yeah, networking was a big part of the experience. Yeah, and that was just kind of a summary. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As you can see, Maureen's amazing. She just does such a fabulous job. And one of the chaperones that you might have noticed in the picture was our biology teacher, Mrs. Schaefer, who retired last year, who volunteered to go on the trip with the students. So that was just really special for us to have, they're, really a great opportunity. And Ocean Inc., she mentioned they donated the van. She was Thelma and Louise driving that van down to Washington, D.C. So, she really does a lot of effort. Lucy and Ethel. Tonight, I just want to quickly go over every time that we have different test results, we're required by the Department of Ed to present them. And the latest are the Start Strong. I don't have the clicker, so you can flip to the next one. Thank you, Jimmy. This just gives you an overview of the whole school year of all the different assessments that we have running at Pinelands that we will be featuring. I highlighted in yellow the March test, which is our graduation assessment. We're still waiting to hear from the commissioner if that will be a requirement. It was last year, then they changed their mind in July, and now they have it back on the docket that all juniors will have to take that test. And the next slide. So for English language arts, at the end of September, all of our students in grades 7, 8, 9, 10 took the test. And they let us know about strong support is needed in the certain areas. So I just listed how many students out of the grand total. I will post this also on our assessment page on the website that you can look at it further. It's no surprise. They walked into school in September and we said, let's see where you're at in September taking the assessment. The students are frustrated because they haven't been taking standardized assessments. And then suddenly now the state's requiring that you take one in every subject right when you returned in September. So if we can take a look at the math, you'll see it's broken down by content for Algebra 1 geometry and Algebra 2 at the bottom. And then the math is at the top.
They did not break it out yet by special ed. So a student that might be in a resource room that's 3 years below grade level is taking the same assessment. So you have to look at the numbers that way as well. And the last slide is science, which is a little interesting. So if you're a senior, you had to take a science assessment this year, whether or not you're in a science class, and it's a general science test. So if you went the environmental science and marine science route, there'll be chemistry on this test, biology on this test, physical science. So they just did a general overall science test that all the seniors had to sit for, whether or not they're enrolled in science. So you can imagine how excited they were to show up to take that science test that day. So, but as I said, I just wanted to mention that Jen's laughing because she teaches seniors, so she knows. So there are the 3 areas that were tested. Net in January, we'll get further information, but as always, we have to go through the ropes of presenting this information to all of you. And back to the Here to Help video, I just want to say that I really need to thank personally Miss Cameron Barr. She is working in the English department and helps with video productions, and she's really the mastermind behind the whole thing. So I would like to acknowledge her. She's amazing. All right, and next up, I think we have Miss Erin.
You have a very good narrating voice, Karen. I mean, I think you could, like, in your next life.
There you go.
We don't want you to be nervous. We have a lot of slides. We're not going to be like very long-winded with it, but we will share it with everybody so that you can see. We'll even post it on our special services page.
Erin, can you hold the microphone just so people at home can hear well? Thank
The
you.
audience at home. I don't have the voice like Karen Kenny though. Scott Beaton is with me as well, our teacher coordinator, and my right-hand person. So, okay, I have the clicker here. So just a couple of things. The first thing is to understand just the background of our department. The reason why this presentation is so long is because there is a lot going on in the area of special education. So we are really lucky here to have your support, to have that full continuum of services. So not every district can say that they can support their special ed students from a general education setting all the way through very specialized classrooms that, you know, typically we would send kids out of district for. You know, we really have amazing supports, and our staffing is incredible. I do have a couple slides with our specialists that we have that are really unique to our district and set us apart from other places. Some of the things that I think are important for you guys to see: when I was initially hired and Scott was initially hired, it was to be able to look at the programs we offer in-house and see how we can do it better than perhaps a private school would be doing it, where we were sending our kids out of district. So since 2019, we've brought 9 students back in from district. I'm not counting kids that have graduated, students that have come back into our district and have really thrived. Some of the students, we have one in particular that I can think of, we went to 13 different placements and they would not accept this student. And this student is thriving. I am not saying it's easy. The staff that works with this student are just angels on this earth, but it's just given this kid an opportunity to be here with their peers. We also this year have 2 students from other districts that pay tuition to come to our programs. And I'm not going to go through all these details, but some of the special ed staff that are really unique to our district, we have Rich Demaro. Again, like it's really a catch-all for like Scott. What exactly do you do here? For Rich, you know, they everything and anything that we need. Tom Cavaliers, our behaviorist. We have Ruth Welsh. This is a huge opportunity that we've had for our students with reading disabilities, and Ruth goes in and it's so unique and so special. She works with some of our gen ed teachers who maybe don't know how to teach students with a reading disability and helps them support our kids. So we're so lucky to have all of this staff working with us. Our behavior team is a newer group where we have what's called registered behavior technicians, RBTs. This is
the RBT thing is kind of new. It's something that a lot of districts are just jumped on, and particularly that is a nationally accredited certification. And we look at keeping kids in district, or even in the case of some of our students, bringing kids from other districts because their home districts couldn't support them. You have parents now going to due process and asking for registered behavior technicians. And we are getting ahead of that game and just hiring them and having them on staff in advance. And that actually, both of our out-of-district students were due to us already having those people on staff, we're able to get those tuition rate students. So, which is kind of nice to have other neighboring public schools, nothing against them, they can't provide, and we have such a stronger program that we're able to take those kids in. So that's something we're very proud of.
The other thing you're going to see is the theme of hands-on learning. So we reached out. I didn't want to just make this about, maybe our 18 to 21 class or something very specific. I wanted to give all of our special ed teachers an opportunity to share what they're doing, because every single one they're doing just amazing things. You'll see the theme of hands-on learning here. Our teachers are required, no matter what grade level our students are working on, we're required to expose them to the grade level curriculum. And that can be really, really challenging. And these pictures in these next few slides, we're going to go quickly, show you how our teachers have gotten creative and grab our kids and motivate them. So we have Miss Pomeroy and Miss Calderon's class doing some hands-on things. The community-based instruction, another theme when I started in 2019, were the questions of these field trips. Why are we taking all these field trips? And we've really, Scott definitely has worked with our teachers to refine what community-based instruction is. It's not just, hey, let's take them out to lunch because we like to go out to lunch. It's really teaching those skills. What I heard one of Miss Nooner's students say about, that fancy dinner, just having the opportunity to be exposed to something that you may not get exposed to on the daily basis. That's these kinds of experiences for our students, but we have to do it over and over and over again for them so that they learn the rules and how to act in certain places so that we're able to help them build independent skills. Life skills, we were lucky enough to have 2 rooms for life skills, 1 in each building. They give our kids an opportunity to do so many different things and practice these skills before they go out in the community. Our BD program has just gone through the roof with the experiences that they're having. You can ask, over at the high school, just the number of discipline write-ups at the high school have gone down tremendously because we're really supporting the global needs of those students and also the staff. So here are some of the things that they're doing at the high school. They're acting out of Mice and Men. That's amazing. It's incredible. They're getting exposed to what their peers are doing, and they're doing it in a way that they're growing and they're learning. We have our pull-out resource classrooms over in the junior high school, doing things around the building, working together, a lot of collaboration. Miss Soralik is here, and I appreciate her input. She works with our seniors on the senior project. So every senior has to do a senior project. And she is able to work really closely. One of her students created the slide for us to give us a sense of what they're doing, what their responsibilities are. And she hosts the Thanksgiving feast. And this is really awesome because she uses all these community partnerships again, and enhances this for the kids. We have another group of our Sudol and Caravella's class, hands-on learning. This is where Grace and Glory comes in and does work with our BD classes. And it's just incredible to watch them, what they're doing in these programs to support their mental health. We have Miss Tierney's class out in the alternate building. And they are in partnerships with our local businesses. They're working out there. They have memberships. Every student in that classroom has a membership to Retro Fitness as their phys ed requirement. And we have pictures. Some families have sent us pictures on weekends and breaks. Their kids are going to Retro to work out. So this is the goal, to get them to be really using these things when they're not here. You may have seen some of our furry friends around, and we felt like it was important to acknowledge them. Cooper, Emmy, and Frankie come in and support our students. We run the school store in the junior high school.
All right, I have to jump in on the Buddy Club one because this is one that's very personal to me. If you go back in your board minute archives, and I believe Mrs. McVeigh was on the board at the time, you can go back to 2013 and see that I wrote the proposal for Buddy Club in 2013. And I don't say that to take any credit for the program. I say that to point out that when I wrote it in 2013 and got it board approved to have this club, and then turned around to our director at the time to try to get the club actually up and running and meeting and doing the things it was supposed to do, we could not get funding or support or resources to get the program going. And we did not get that going until 2019. Okay, and I'll let everyone do the math and figure out why that was in 2019. We were able to get that going. But that's an example. When people get up here and talk about what's the difference in our department, here's a very real example. 6 years kind of sat mothballed because we just didn't have the funding. And then to have an administration that can support it and say, what do you need? How do we make it work? Let's get creative here. Do you need funding? Do you need this? Do you need that? So I just wanted to jump in on that one because that is one that, we had envisioned for a while. And I would invite you to come in on a Friday and see this. It's amazing. We've got 30, 40 kids just passing through all these different activities that we're doing in that room with some of our self-contained classes. So, yep.
And the second part is Challenger League. You can start with.
Okay, Challenger League is another thing. Actually, Challenger League was founded by a Pinelands alumnus who is now an administrator at Southern Regional. Pinelands was one of the first teams to sign on to the league, and that is a program similar to Buddy League that is still going strong. Kudos to Will Sunderman. He has always been extremely involved in this. It's a fantastic program. Challenger Leagues have always existed, like the adaptive sports model for students in town, like Tom's River has one, Stafford, whatever. But the idea is that they don't have a chance to represent their school. No one from, the school sees them play these sports. So Joe DePietro, a Pinelands graduate, started this program. We were one of the first teams to jump on. And so we have our students who maybe otherwise might not be able to play a sport are now playing a sport against Barnegat, Southern, Lacey, Manchester, with the assistance of varsity athletes. So, and on top of that, Coach Sunderman includes our students, and I know that sounds like something obvious, but not every district does this, includes our students in all the sports awards and awards varsity letters to our kids for being part of the program. So it's kind of neat to see some of our guys walking around with varsity jackets, which is something their parents probably never ever might have thought would happen. So furthermore, on athletic opportunities, we also have a lot of students that maybe do play or on our teams, but need a little extra support. And we provide, whether it's a one-to-one, it's a certain piece of adaptive equipment, maybe it's a little help from myself to one of the coaches to help make that student be a part of that team. Our wrestling team, notably, actually this season has had a couple of our students who maybe have not felt the success that they felt before until being on that wrestling team. And that's something we've really worked to support. And again, that's not something that other districts are doing. We talked to a friend of ours recently who said that another neighboring district would not provide their child with a one-on-one. They needed to participate in a certain school activity. And that was something we wouldn't have even batted an eye at. We're just doing these things to support all our students. So I think it's important to point that out. So.
And this is the last slide. This is just an announcement for something that we're really, really excited about. And hopefully you guys will share this and people that are listening at home will sign up for this. This is something called Social Saturdays. It's a brand new program that we're rolling out for January. We picked one Saturday a month and we're going to be doing structured social activities so that we can have people who maybe have special needs and maybe students who don't have special needs and maybe are looking for something fun to do on a Saturday morning or want to come out and support their friends. And the reason why we're doing this is to help. We've gotten some feedback from a lot of parents over the past year. It's difficult for their child to make friends. It's difficult for them to know the nuances of a relationship and, things to say. So we have staff that we're going to be providing to support the different programs. So let's just say we offer 4 different things on a Saturday morning. Kids will have 2 sessions to pick from. So maybe it would be like a physical activity. Maybe it's going to be like a basketball game and an art project and a cooking project and a board game session. They can pick 2 of the 4 and there will be staff there to help them navigate through the communication piece, the winning, the losing, the turn taking. I know that it sounds really simple and basic, but so many of our kids are struggling with that, especially coming off of the pandemic. And we think this is going to be a really good opportunity to just give them that structure and give them a social opportunity. And we've seen this in other districts. Actually in New York is where somebody told me about this that lives in New York, and their daughter made their first friends in this program. So that's what we're hoping for some of our kids. It's really easy to sign up. You can do the QR code, which Rich tomorrow taught me how to do, and I feel very fancy now that I know how to make a QR code. And there's also a link if you don't know what the heck that means. So if you have any questions about that or you want to stop by, these are the dates and the times, and we would love to see you. And please, as always, we give out our cell phone numbers and our email addresses for a reason. We want you to reach out. It's never a bother. We want to hear from you. We want to see you. We want you to come in and see what we're doing. Our staff is incredible and really you guys support us. And we could never do any of this without your support. So thank you so much. Does anybody have questions?
I just have a comment. I just want to commend the two of you and your team. You really have turned this whole department around over the last few years. And you're obviously not doing a presentation that's too long. You're including everything that you are doing for this department. And it is amazing. There's something for everyone at every level. And just the added district piece that you've brought back, not only does that save the district money, of course, but it also helps the student. Now they're not on a bus for 2 hours because proximity wise, there's not much around us. So to find a program for a student, they are going to be sitting on a bus for 2 hours and they could be better served with their peers getting instructed for that time. So it's just amazing work. Yep. Amazing work all around. Thank you.
I wanted to. Aaron and Scott. I also wanted to say my daughter is in the buddy club and she enjoys every Friday. She looks forward to her time in that classroom. So she's making friends that she probably normally wouldn't make, but she enjoys it thoroughly. Yep.
All right, moving on to item number 8, board forum. Do any of my still standing board members have anything they would like to present or talk about during board forum? Good. All righty. We will have our reorganization meeting on Tuesday, January the 3rd, 2023 at 4 o'clock. And that will be held over at the junior high school. That doubles my commute. I'm not happy about it. Of course, kidding. Chances are we'll come here first, so I'll probably end up being a little late.
We'll send a reminder.
Okay. And the 2023 board meeting dates. Do you have any information there?
We'd like to, if we could keep them on Monday nights. It works out well for us. I think it's been working. And so it's the third Monday of every month. We have a tentative schedule, but it's the third Monday.
Amanda will send this out so you can look them over, see if any of them do not work for you.
Yeah.
Are we thinking the same times, 5:30 executive, 6 o'clock regular? Does anyone want it earlier? Is that, Shannon, does that work for you?
That works for me, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
I figured you're coming the farthest from work. Yeah. Okay, look them over. If you have any feedback, just send it to Amanda.
All right, new business, the draft of the 23-24 district calendar.
If you look in your yellow folder, Ms. Frasca put together a draft for next year's calendar. She's been working with the neighboring school districts on this as well as the VOTEC, and it's very similar to what we have this year. You're also going to see a revision to this year's calendar. The second half of the school year, we had 3 delayed openings. We do not need those delayed openings anymore. And the fact that Little Lake Harbor is not having any, we actually won't be able to provide busing effectively if we're on 2 different schedules. So we have removed the delayed openings from the revised calendar for this school year. So you can hang on to those. If you have any feedback for next year's calendar, just shoot me or Ms. Frasca an email.
Thank you. And board office, ma'am?
Yeah, Melissa and I wanted to, or I'm sorry, Dr. McCauley and I wanted to update you on our district office. So it's in complete disrepair. We have not had a fully functioning HVAC system in probably about a year. We've been making do with some electrical heaters, and then those are becoming problems because of the electrical system in the office, and we're constantly tripping electric and all sorts of things. The roof has been leaking for a very long time. There are a lot of places inside the building that have wet ceiling tiles or have buckets to catch the water. With this, there becomes the potential for mold. All the doors need to be replaced. One literally fell off when it was opened about a couple weeks ago. We hosted a raccoon family in the ducts over the summer. There has been termite damage in the past, and there is our maintenance department suspects that there's more termite damage. With all this being said and getting some quotes on the work to fix these problems, it has become evident, and Dr. McCauley and I think that it's not worth putting the money into the current building. And we've been looking into modular companies that could provide either a new or a pre-owned building to go into that place of the existing building. In the new year, around February, there are ROD grants coming out that could provide about 40% of the cost to replace the building. So we'd like to discuss moving forward with a new office building for the district office. We are temporarily moving to the junior high because it's, we can't, I mean, some of the building has heat and some of it doesn't. And it's gotten to the point where we really can't stay there any longer. So we will be relocating to the junior high.
From what we understand, and we don't have any documentation from when it was first put up, it was only meant to be a temporary structure while a real board office was built, and that never occurred. And the building is just not meant to be sustained for this many years, and it is literally falling apart. So it's much cheaper and more efficient just to demo it and then put another modular structure there that will last about 20 years. So we've toured one recently, and Amanda's been in contact with the company. As she said, we can get a new one or a used one for slightly less money. But once we have definitive cost breakdown of everything, we'll send that to the board. And we also feel it's a good time to do this because we get the 40% reimbursement through the ROD grant. If you want to come to the board office and look around, you know, Mr. Bartlett's in construction. I know Mr. Dalio does appraisals. You're welcome to come and see it. You've been in there. When it rains in my office. So it really isn't a very healthy environment in terms of the air quality. So it is the best plan moving forward.
There's room in the junior high school for the board office?
Eric has graciously made a room for us in the back of the building. There are empty classrooms since the 9th grade went to the high school. So we do have some empty rooms in the back of the building. So while we are temporarily displaced, the administrators will be in one classroom, secretaries will be next to us, and then we do have some space that we can have a conference room, but there is room for us there.
Would it be more cost effective just to get rid of the office and just permanently take up residence in the junior high?
Well, eventually our enrollment is going up. The enrollment in Little Egg Harbor is going up as well. So we don't know what the future of that building is right now. And it really isn't the best place for us to be in the school where we're going to be for meetings, for parents to come in. It's better for the board office to kind of be separated just for privacy concerns for some things. If staff need to come over for meetings, it's less intrusive when we're not in the building in a school. And, you know, Eric is going to need those rooms eventually.
It just seems like it would make sense just to expand the junior high to make room for you than to have another building.
I mean, we would still entail putting up some kind of structure though. And now we're taking up some of his field space.
There's a quiz anyway. Do you know when the administration office was put there? I'm thinking 95.
We've heard 89, 90.
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
earlier
That
than
far
that.
back?
Yeah.
Earlier than 95, for sure. For
Okay,
sure.
For sure.
Karen Kenny called Will Sunderman the historian of the group. So he felt it was the 80s. Oh, Gina, yeah, it was in the late 80s.
Aren't there regulations too? I thought administrative offices had to be located outside of the classrooms.
I'm not, honestly, I don't know the answer to that.
They
But
all are. They
yeah,
all are.
most of them are, even Little Eggs is as well. Even if it were in a school, we'd have to be separated somehow that students couldn't be coming in, like this is only temporary. So it is more difficult for parents to come see us, vendors to come see us, staff to come see us that way.
I mean, on a temporary basis, but I do believe there are rules that say you have, because I think that's why that building came into existence.
Right.
Is because we had the offices housed within the school district.
Yeah, I can get some more information on that, but it's just the timing is right to do it now and everything seemed to fall apart all at once as well. So.
Well, that building's more of a manufactured unit. It's not stick built, so.
Right.
It's definitely showing its age.
Yeah, when it's raining, I'm stressing. I mean, because I know it's raining in her office, and if it's going to flood, we've already had a flood and had to redo 2 of the offices. So it's just to put a lot of money. The quotes have come out way higher than anticipated. Just doesn't seem cost effective.
Right. So we'll keep you posted.
All right, any old business? Hearing none, we'll move on to residents forum for agenda items only. Board Policy 0167 encourages community participation in every meeting. However, the board requests that the public respect a reasonable time limit when commenting on agenda items only. Would anyone from the audience like to address the board on agenda items only? Samantha, would you like to address the board? No? Okay. All right, moving on to item number 10, instructionals. I need a motion to approve items A through D.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions?
Mr. Bartlett,
Yes.
Mr. Rosetti,
Yes.
Ms. Zimmerman,
Yes.
Mr. Dalio,
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Moving on to personnel, we need a motion to approve items A through R.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions?
Okay,
Seeing
Mr. Bartlett,
Yes.
Mr. Rosetti,
Yes.
Ms. Zimmerman,
Yes.
Mr. Dalio,
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Moving on to item 12, operations. We have one item. Item A, we need a motion, please.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions?
Mr. Bartlett,
Yes.
Mr. Rosetti,
Yes.
Ms. Zimmerman,
Yes.
Mr. Dalio,
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Moving on to item 13, report of the board secretary, business administrator. We have items A through L. I need a motion, please.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions?
Mr. Bartlett,
Yes.
Mr. Rosetti,
Yes.
Ms. Zimmerman,
Yes.
Mr. Dalio,
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. There are no informational items at this time, so we will move on to item number 15, residence forum for general topics. Board Policy 0167 encourages community participation at every meeting. However, the board requests that public respect a reasonable time limit when commenting on any topic. Anyone from the audience wish to address the board on any topic? Please state your name and your address and speak into the mic, please. Thank you.
Madam President, my name is Joe Becker. I live in Mystic Shores, 408 Lenape Drive, Little Lake Harbor. I am here to give a shout of appreciation to Howard Berry as the industrial arts teacher who is retiring in February. And as a member of a group of the public and the students, we have put together a collection of donations for the purpose of making a plaque. Mr. Berry is currently working on a trophy case, which he's hoping to finish before the end of January. Could be difficult. But in turn, we would like to give him a plaque of dedication to put on there. And I have a reading of that. In appreciation to Howard Berry, Pinelands Regional High School, industrial arts teacher extraordinaire, 1986 to 2023. Thank you. You will be missed from your many students and colleagues. And that should be available right around the time that he finishes up the trophy case.
Thank you.
Mind if I say something?
Mr. Becker, do you have anything else for us?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Becker, I just want to say hello, and I know we corresponded a few times in emails and on the telephone, and I know in previous board meetings here and at Little Lake Harbor, you had some questions and some concerns. My door is always open, as I said to you on the phone and in my email. If you want to come in and sit with me, we can address any concerns or questions that you have anytime.
Yes, and I had received a call from you and also from your secretary. I would opt to have a public forum meeting at these board meetings rather than a one-on-one, but I look forward to having those conversations as we go forward.
Well, as I said, my door is always open.
I'm sorry.
My door is always open if you want to have a conversation or sit down.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else from the audience wish to address the board? One more chance, Samantha. Oh, goodness. Moving on to board forum. Speaking of plaques, I have something for Mr. Rossetti. Mr. Rossetti is retiring from the board. If you'll indulge me, I'll read this. Well, no, I don't think I need my eyeballs to read this. Presented to Thomas Rossetti, who served as a member of the Pinelands Board of Education, in appreciation for your 3 years of outstanding and dedicated service to the students and staff of Pinelands Regional School District. With this award of gratitude goes our heartfelt thanks and appreciation for your service to our community from the Board of Education on this date, December 19th, 2022. And on behalf of my fellow board members, those here and those that are at home not feeling well, thank you very much for your service. You're always willing to help out in whatever committee presented itself. And it's been our pleasure to serve with you on this board, and we wish you the best in whatever future endeavors you have. And if you wish, you may start the board forum.
Sure. Well, first and foremost, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah to everybody. Thank you for all the updates. Congratulations to Coach Tierney. It's great to hear. That commercial was excellent, by the way. I thought I was watching television. I flipped through the channel. Her voice was perfect. It was like a professional, well done. Ms. Nooner, the JAG program, every time I hear about it, it's outstanding. And the social Saturdays, that sounds outstanding, excellent. Every time I come here, I always hear something wonderful about our special education program. But on top of that, I just want to say thank you for all your support over the past 3 years. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve this community. And even though I will not be here sitting as a board member, I have to say that just watching things going on in the past, several months, I've been inspired. So I really, will still be coming to board meetings. I'll just be sitting over there, watching, listening. And I know you guys just were begging for me to come up to that microphone and start asking questions. So I figured I'd just sit there in the audience and just be like, just watch and ask questions. But other than that, no, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it. You guys have been doing a fantastic job. Keep up the good work, keep doing great things for Pinelands. And I will be here watching, or if not, at home watching on YouTube and writing down questions for the next meeting.
It's been a pleasure working with you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Zimmerman?
Yes, thank you to Mr. Rossetti. It's been a great pleasure sitting next to you. Thank you for your guidance on the board. I echo everything that he said so nicely. I do just want to say a special shout out to Mr. Shore and Mrs. Thurber. Thank you for your GHS pep rally. That was phenomenal. The school spirit that you guys have and you instill in the school, in the students is unbelievable. And go Santa for winning that wrestling match. Thank you to everybody and happy holidays to the administration, to the staff and all the students.
Thank you. Mr. Bartlett?
Does anybody see a Christmas Where's Waldo in here? I mean, come on, Principal Shore, let's go. You're rocking it, man. You're rocking it. It's great. It's great to see everybody. Another year in the books. January coming up, reorg meeting. It's great. Coach Tierney, great season. It's really cool. Excited for what's in store for Pinelands as you continue to lead that crew of guys. That's great. And yeah, see you guys next year.
Thank you. Mr. Dalio?
You remember me this time?
Yes.
There's less people.
When I feel better, I feel better.
Okay, all right. Well, first, I just want to thank Mr. Rossetti for your 3 years of service here. It was an honor and pleasure to work alongside of you. Maybe we didn't agree all the time on certain topics, but that's democracy.
That's how it works. We're not supposed to.
Exactly, but you are very well respected by the time you served. I didn't think I knew you that much really before you got on the board. We bumped into each other in the gym a couple times, and our kids had the same kind of classes. But thank you again. All I wanted to say is that other than school business, is that today I had my, next month will be coming up on my 1 year aorta experience. So I met with my thoracic surgeon today at the University of Penn, and I got a clean bill of health on my aorta, so everything looks good. So I don't have to go back until another 6 months. So that part, it's good. You start thinking, because you don't feel, the first time it happened to me, I felt great, and all of a sudden, and then the rest is where we are. So it was good to hear that. My surgeon, he's the reason why I'm living. His name is Dr. Grimm. He moved to Texas with his family, and he has another position there. I don't know what hospital he's working at, but I'm sorry to see him go. But my other Dr. Wong is the one who's replacing him, so she'll be my doctor until I die, 10 years, 20 years from now. But one thing, experiences that I went through is that since we're here at the holiday season, is that when you go through something like what I went through, or if anyone goes through a life and death situation, it changes your perspective to a point where you don't want to deal with the drama, and all you really care about is being with the people you care about, your friends, your family, and that's what's important. The further I got away from that, the Facebook drama, little things start creeping back into you, and you start losing sight again. But when the holiday season's upon us, and what Christmas really means, it kind of refocused me. It's like, I'm lucky to be here. I'm happy to be alive and sharing this time with you. I have another opportunity for 3 more years to serve this township and this district, and I wouldn't have had that if this was 10 years ago. So, you have an epiphany. So every day I wake up, I feel like it's Christmas morning, and I continue that. So I would urge everyone to, try to put the toxic stuff away if you can. Think about, what's more important, your family, your friends, and enjoy the time you have, because we're not guaranteed it tomorrow. None of us are. So, with that, I wish everyone a happy and safe Christmas and holiday season, and I hope you spend it with the people you love. That's all I have.
Thank you. Very well said.
Thank you.
And we are very appreciative of the fact that you're still with us.
And my comic routine and all that. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes. And we're looking for more than 10 or 20 years.
Thank me too.
I would like to thank everybody who made a presentation tonight. It is so nice to sit back and hear good news, but also to just learn more and more about what's going on. And to Scott and Aaron, your enthusiasm is just contagious, and it's just so nice to hear from everyone. I have the pleasure of having a child in the high school and the junior high, so I get all kinds of information, little tidbits of information about things, and all I'm hearing is good stuff. Just amazing things happening at the junior high and the high school, and if the experiences that my grandkids are having is the similar experience that most students are having, Everyone here is doing a phenomenal job, and thank you. Thank you very much. With that, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and be safe. Motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're out.